him down the back straightaway. Chuck Wilson running second. Chris Shank third. Leo Smith and Cody Smith in car number 13 around a complete lap 1. Mark Stemen stretching it out on a rail. Chuck Wilson second. Eddie Smith running third. Chris Shank in the 7X and Cody Smith in car number 13. Mark Stemen straightaway lead into turn 3. Chuck Wilson second. And Eddie Smith running third in the red number 3. Chuck Wilson under the white running second in car number 31. Mark Stemen wins it in car number 17 from Jonesville. Chris Shank finishing fourth in the 7X. Eddie Smith third in the red number 3. Chuck Wilson finishing second in car number 31. Here's your winner, the McAuliffe's Processing from Jonesville, 1999 Hartford Speedway Park track champion, Mark Stemen, winning our first heat event for the sprints. Oscar Smith, your pole car in car number 51. Red Jones on the outside in car number 98. Damon Bassett and Jimmy Jackson in row number 2. Both those drivers, I believe, headed up there to Crystal for that opening sod show 2 weeks ago. Berwyn, Illinois' Mike Jonas in 19J and Dave Davis in car number 38. Oscar Smith, your early leader. Red Jones running second. Oscar Smith, Red Jones running second. Jimmy Jackson third in the 8J. Mike Jonas in the 19J running fourth. Damon Bassett, 35M, running fifth. And Dave Davis in his second season of racing here at Hartford running sixth in car number 38. Working lap 3, heading into turn 3. Oscar Smith in car number 51. Red Jones running second. Jimmy Jackson and Mike Jonas running fourth. Close call down there, Jimmy Jackson. Damon Bassett spun around over there in the 35M car between turns 3 and 4. Oscar Smith, your leader. Red Jones running second, back underway out of turn 4. Mike Jonas gets around Jimmy Jackson up to third in the 19J. The battle for second. Red Jones running second. Mike Jonas and Jimmy Jackson. Mike Jonas up to second in the 19J. Oscar Smith still your leader. Chicago area driver running second, Mike Jonas. Raced at Paragon, Indiana Speedway here last summer. Did some non-wing sprint car racing. Red Jones running third and Jimmy Jackson fourth. Oscar Smith heading for the checkered flag from Sister Lakes. Looks like he's going to win it. Oscar Smith in car number 51. Mike Jonas finishing second, the Berwyn, Illinois driver. From Sister Lakes, car number 51. Eddie Smith and Red Jones lead him slowly down the back straightaway, ready to pick it up. Chuck Wilson. And Mike Jonas in row 2. Here we go, 20 laps. Mark Stemen quickly up to third. Red Jones falling back to sixth. Eddie Smith, your leader. Mark Stemen moving up to third. Chuck Wilson from Toledo, Ohio, leads him across the line at lap 1. Chuck Wilson, your leader. Eddie Smith second. Mark Stemen third. Mike Jonas running fourth. Raymond Shank fifth in the 7X, and Oscar Smith running sixth. 2 laps complete this time by Chuck Wilson in car number 31. Eddie Smith running second. Mark Stemen running third. Mike Jonas fourth, and Raymond Shank running fifth in the 7X. Chuck Wilson about a straightaway lead. Eddie Smith in turn 2 running second. Mark Stemen third. Mike Jonas running fourth in the 19J. And Raymond Shank running fifth in the 7X. Red Jones about to be lapped on the back straightaway in car number 98. Leader Chuck Wilson approaching the halfway point, 9 laps down. 11 to go. Eddie Smith continues to run second. Battle for the number 4 spot in turn 1. Raymond Shank up to 4th in the 7X. Mike Jonas drops back to 5th in the 19J. Mark Stemen battle for second. Mark Stemen up to second in car number 17. Chuck Wilson trying to get around Jimmy Jackson to put him a lap down in the 8J car. Mark Stemen gaining ground in car number 17. And a wild ride, Cody Smith in car number 13. Fire breaking out on the car. And the red flag displayed Cody Smith getting upside down in car number 13. Brief engine fire on the 13 car. Seven laps to go. Mark Stemen right behind your leader now for the top spot. Oscar Smith battle with Doug Duell. Mark Stemen on the high side. Chuck Wilson leads him out of turn 4 side by side. Five laps to go, this time by Chuck Wilson, still your leader. Mark Stemen second, Eddie Smith running third. Again, Mark Stemen to the high side out of turn 4. Top 2 pulling away, heading into turn 3. Chuck Wilson trying to fend him off. Mark Stemen on the high side. What a battle! Less than 4 laps to go. Mark Stemen, your new leader. Chuck Wilson drops back to second. Mark Stemen, here comes Chuck Wilson on the inside. And Chuck Wilson takes it back. Mark Stemen on the outside. 2.5 laps to go. Again, side by side into turn 3. Stemen edges out in front. 2 laps to go. 18 laps down. Way up high. Chuck Wilson gets the bite on the low side. White flag, 1 to go this time by. 1 lap to go. Chuck Wilson takes over the top spot. White flag. Final time down the back straightaway. Chuck Wilson about a 10-car length lead heading into turn 3. What a battle, Mark Stemen and Chuck Wilson. Back and forth, and I think each one of them had to lead at least about 5 or 6 laps. Mark Stemen finishing second. Chuck Wilson all the way from Toledo, about a 3-hour drive to win it. Race fans, how about a hand for him? How about a hand for Chuck Wilson? Fans, can you hear us here? We got to get in the right spot here so the PA can pick us up. Chuck, super battle. I know you didn't want to see that yellow flag, did you? What a battle with Mark Stemen.
Yeah, Mark definitely was pushing me hard. I was doing everything I could to hold my line. I didn't want to crowd him, keep everything fair. But then again, I wanted to make my car about that wide, It was fun. Good race.
Well, I'll tell you, you both gave each other plenty of room. You didn't really come too close. Back and forth you went. You'd lead a couple laps, then he'd lead. Great racing. And congratulations, a good show.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun coming up here.
Chuck Wilson from Toledo, your winner. How about a hand for him? And how about a hand for Mark Stemen, also super battle, 20-lap sprint main event.